Hello. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Joe. Hey, Monica. Just did a super powerful meditation. All this amazing stuff dropped in. I'm going to give it just a few minutes and then I'm going to dive in. No shenanigans today because I have an appointment in about 38 minutes. Hey, Laura. Come on. Oh, goodness. It's not letting me. Hey, everyone. Say hi. As you're hopping on, so I know you're here. Awesome, Bridget. Come back and catch the replay. Hey, Joe, can you tag Laura? I still can't tag. It's so weird. I can't tag anyone on my team in anything. Weird censorship things afoot. Say hi as you're hopping on. Definitely helps with the algorithm for you to comment that you're here, and then I know you're here also. Dog fights happening, regular morning occurrence in Bali. Hey, Jennifer. Oh my gosh. Hey, Kim. Hey, Atlas. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Stephanie. I'm so excited too. I'm so excited you're joining us for Ouroboros 5. Okay, so I have quite a bit of things that I want to dive into, so I'm just gonna hit the ground running. Hopefully the dogs sort out their argument that they're having out there, so we don't have to sit there and hear them barking through the whole live stream. Okay, so first and foremost, I just kind of wanted to talk about why I'm here. And, you know, I've had a really interesting year this year. And this year, has been full of spiritual growth and expansion, but also just a real coming home to the work that I'm really, truly meant to do in the world. And I know, you know, if you've been following me, you know, I've been being called to greater and greater levels of service. And it's been kind of a cleaning out and a clearing out of, you know, all the old parts of me, myself, how I interact in the world, but also, you know, things in my business that weren't necessarily serving my ability to serve. And so yeah, it's been a little bit confronting. It's been really expansive, and there's been a lot of unknown. And so, you know, I think the thing that I just want to share is that, yes, I'm Leah Steele. I'm the Wealth Witch. I have a podcast. I'm an author. I have an incredible book called Women Gone Wild that just became an international bestseller in 24 categories. I'm so proud of the collaborations that I've made with other powerful, world-changing women over the last year of my life. And I'm so honored to have this really tight group and network of women who are world changers, who are really truly out there trying to make a difference in the world. And it's called me to step into higher levels of integrity in the work that I do, and how I share that work and how I facilitate that work. So I guess that's kind of just the first part of this. You know, the wealth repatterning work that I do has finally begun to be, you know, recognized on a global stage, and that's been really exciting, and quite frankly has kicked up a lot of my imposter syndrome shit and worthiness shit. And it's interesting because it's actually the work that I do, right? Is stepping into greater levels of worthiness and deserving. And, you know, the PR and everything that's been coming, it's been incredible, but it's also been a little difficult for me to like step fully into sharing. And I'm so glad that I have this incredible team and this incredible social media team behind me that sort of share that stuff for me, because there's a big piece of me that, you know, while I've been chosen to be a custodian of this work, I didn't create it. It came through me. And so there's a part of that that's really hard to like go out and celebrate the recognition and the acknowledgement of the power of the work when it's coming through me. And so as a result of that, it's me that gets the recognition, when really truthfully, you know, I 1,000,000% believe that this work is the work that we need to be doing right now for future generations. It is my ancestors speaking through me. It is my ancestors connecting and bringing their messages through to heal our future generations. And, you know, we find ourselves at a time in the world right now where there's so much uncertainty, and there is so much tyranny and control and manipulation. And, you know, I think that it's difficult to see outside of the now of our current landscape and reality, because many of us are just trying to navigate this time in the history of humanity. Many of us are just trying to many of us are just trying to I mean, this is an interesting thing, right? It's an interesting thing to talk about, because so many of the people that I'm surrounded by are thriving during this time, and myself and my family included. And, 2020 and 2021, while they've been full of chaos and destruction for much of the world, for many of the people that I'm surrounded by, we've had our best financial years of our lives. We feel clearer and more directed than we ever have. We aren't feeling the results of the control and the manipulation and the power plays that are happening in the world. And I truly believe that is because we, went through it earlier. We had the opportunity to have our worlds fall apart and our major chaoses and destructions happen, sometime between 2012 and 2018 is really what I found. It's like so many of the people in my life that are thriving right now had an opportunity to have complete and total annihilation of the world as they knew it. We lost everything in 2015 and the beginning of 2016 and had to rebuild from nothing. And I believe that people that experienced chaos and destruction in that time, it happened for a reason, because we were here to actually lead humanity through this time. And it doesn't mean that this time is always easy. It definitely has its challenges, but I believe that I was gifted an opportunity to have my entire world fall apart so that I was able to release my conditioning and programming so that I could step into a place of leadership at this time in history. And so, for me, it's like, that's why I'm here. And the work that I've been asked to do, and I think, growing up, was a struggle. And I'm a multiracial woman, born to a mother who is of European descent and a father who is of European, African, and Native American descent. And, I never fit in growing up, and I always felt separate, and I always felt apart. And I've always felt like the black sheep of the family. I've never, ever, ever felt like I really, truly fit in anywhere. And I know now that was by design. And as I have really dove deeply into the spiritual journey that I've been on for the last several months, particularly, but really over the last year, my divine mission on this planet has become clearer and clearer, and that is to help people deconstruct financial slavery consciousness and step out of this old paradigm where we are controlled and manipulated by our resources. And the greater mission for me in that is to help annihilate slavery of all kinds. But for me, the gift that I've been given is a body of work to facilitate and be the custodian of, that helps people deconstruct the programming and conditioning that has kept them in financial internment, that has kept them in places of slavery, and help people be able to see that and help people be able to deconstruct that. And it's been a long and challenging journey to get here, but I'm really, really grateful for the opportunities that I've been given. And I'm sitting here on the day before the 5th round of Ouroboros starts, which is my quantum wealth repatterning program. which is our quantum wealth repatterning program. Really, really, truly believe it came through me to be given to the world. I'm walking into this round with two incredible women who have spent 18 months with me studying this work, deeply, deeply diving into this work, that are helping me co-facilitate this round of the program, Laura Johnson and Carrie Yossi. And all three of us have been called to even greater and higher levels of integrity with our own money story and money shit, and so many things have come up in the last several months that have just really made us step into greater levels of integrity within self, within the Leah Steele brand, within our own individual businesses. And I know that this work is here right now to change the paradigm. But the thing that came through to me so strongly this morning that kind of blew my mind was that there's another piece of this that I haven't tapped fully into. And I know that I've always known that we do this work for future generations. And I know that with what's going on in the world, it's hard to see outside of our current circumstances, right? It's like we're just trying to figure out this current power play. We're just trying to figure out, how does humanity free itself from this tyranny? How do we free ourselves from, this kind of global power play that's happening that is really squashing us? The reality is that we are all living in one form of slavery or another. And that is just, it becomes clearer and clearer every single day. And my Australian friends that are watching this certainly are feeling this so heavily right now. And my heart goes out to all of humanity right now. However, it's time for us to start playing the long game. Because the people that are controlling and manipulating what's happening on this planet right now, they've been planning this for generations. They play the long game. This isn't just something that they decided to have happen in 2020. This has been coming for a long time, and it's time for us to start playing the long game. It's time for us to start recognizing and realizing that this isn't about now. This is about the world that we're leaving behind for our children and for our children's children and our children's children's children. And if you're not a biological parent to a child right now, it doesn't matter, because we are all custodians of the next generations. And we are receiving a call from our ancestors right now to step up and stand up for those future generations. And this morning as I was doing my meditation, it came through so powerfully and so clearly that we have to start teaching these generations. It's not just about us. And when we do the ancestral work and when we do the deconstruction work, we do that through our ancestral lines. We do it all the way forward and we do it all the way back. And we are impacting our future generations, and we are creating huge ripples out into the world. But one of the things that I realized is, our children, they need it now. For some of us, our grandchildren, they need it now. They need to have an awareness around the power of this work. They need to have an awareness around what they're currently dealing with and how they can free themselves. Maria, you're gonna love this, actually. So one of the message that came through to me today that I'm quite frankly scared shitless of, you guys, and I haven't talked to my team about this. Literally none of my team know about this. Laura and Carrie don't know about this. This literally came through. I felt very strongly that I needed to go do some hopping, do a meditation before hopping on this live stream. And in that meditation, what came through was that during this round of Ouroboros, I meant to put together a another track of this program. So it's a track that is separate and apart of this program, where they'll be receiving the content and then they'll be held and facilitated in a parallel container for the children of the people doing this work. And so I haven't announced this to anyone in the program yet, but I'm opening a opportunity for anyone in the program that has a child that is 15 to 18 to actually come in and participate in a concurrent track alongside their parents while their parents are going through this program. And you know, we may make some exceptions and let some emotionally mature 14-year-olds in, but it feels so powerful and so important that our kids also do this work. And so I'm going to be talking to my husband today and asking him to really step in and help co-facilitate the kids part of it, because he's been an incredible coach of children and of youth for years and years, and it feels like this is really his it's really his strong suit. And I will be inviting my 15-year-old son Josiah into this container, and we will have some things together and then some things separate, and it feels like a huge undertaking, but it is just so, like, it is coming through so strongly. It's like, this is the time. And so whether you're participating as an alumni or you're participating as a first rounder, if you have a child that's in that age group, you will actually be able to have them step into this container alongside you so that you can be talking with them and teaching them and learning with them and deconstructing with them through this process. And I'm like, wow, how are we going to do this? But I know we can. I know my husband will step in and support me, and I know it's just going to be an incredible journey. And because I know that we can't shift this alone, like, we have to shift it with them. And they are the future. They are who is going to carry this new paradigm. And they're so easily able to access it and so easily able to step into it. They are so much more aware and so much more conscious than we are anyway. I'm continually blown away by my son's peer group and how they live life and how they do the world and how they see things, and their patterning and their programming that they have right now deconstructs so quickly. They're able to shed so quickly. And so I know that this whole container is going to really benefit from them being able to, like, their energy being a part of breaking down and shifting. You know, we hold on so much more because we've had so many more years of programming and conditioning. You know, we really started doing things differently with my son when he was about 10 or 11 years old. So it's really been about 5 years that we've just kind of been allowing him to, like, live his own life and his own experience, and have been working really hard on not programming and conditioning him. My son Jack was born into a life of not being programmed and conditioned. He's just this little wild man that runs around, like, in complete sovereignty and autonomy, and it's beautiful to see him operating like that. But I know that my middle son, my 15-year-old, picked up a tremendous amount of programming and conditioning, and certainly around worthiness and deserving. And so this work, it's not for us. It's not for us. You know, are we going to get to benefit from it? Yes. Are we going to be able to, you know, step into financial sovereignty and economic freedom and begin to pave the way for the future generations? Yes, but it's not actually for us. We chose to come here and incarnate on this planet at this time to help the future generations, to shift things for the future generations, to change things and impact things for our children and our children's children, to make a better world. And so I'm not sure, there's a lot of people who have already signed up for Ouroboros that are watching this right now, and I'm really interested to know from those of you. Obviously, like, I'm not going to change too much about who I am, so any of these kids that are going to come into this container are going to have to be okay with profanity and have to be okay with my style. But that's part of why I really want my husband as the buffer in there. But there's a lot of pre-recorded content that they'll be getting and get to watch. But it's, you know, and I still have to figure out the logistics of how we're going to facilitate all of this, because we literally start tomorrow. But I'm really interested to know who on here has kids, who on here is signed up for Ouroboros that has kids in this age range that they are going to ask about coming into this program. Yeah, I just feel like there's something really, really powerful happening and shifting. And we knew that that was happening with this round of Ouroboros. We weren't quite sure what was going on. We've been feeling the shifts, we've been feeling the changes. And so this was, you know, this was it. Yeah, they're used to their crazy moms and dads, so they'll be like, okay. Yeah, Jade, 15, Jade and Josiah were actually born at the same time in hospitals across the world, which is really, really incredible. So tonight at 7 p.m. Bali time, I'm actually hosting the last free Ouroboros event of the year. And it's an encore of the Ouroboros experience, and that we did the other night. It was a 3-hour intensive we did the other night that was really powerful, but I didn't even get through like even a little bit of what I wanted to get through. And so, and obviously like this needed to come through. So Maria has Jade, Patricia has Kendall, Laura has a daughter that's 14. Yeah, so we're gonna have this epic group of like life-changing kids. I can already feel it. And, you know, wow, to help them deconstruct this programming and step fully into financial sovereignty, and recognize and realize how powerful they are. Stephanie's oldest is 14. Awesome. Yeah, I think like I was feeling so interesting because I was like, it's 15, but I'm like, I feel like there's going to be some mature 14-year-olds that are going to be able to come in, that are going to be able to handle it. So I guess we should just officially say 14 to 18, because all of these women are like, I've got a 14. Yeah, so I mean, look, it's time to shift this. It's time to change the reality that our kids are living in. And I just, there's never been a more important time to do this work on this planet. We're at this precipice of, you know, moving into global states of communist-like rule. If we don't step up, if we don't step out, if we don't shift. And the thing that I really believe is, I believe humanity is going to win. Like I have no doubt that humanity is going to win. The question is, how difficult is it going to be for us to get to that place? And we are not, if we continue to leave this as it is right now, and we don't shift this, we don't wake up, we don't step out of this old matrix, we don't deconstruct our programming and conditioning, we don't step into personal sovereignty right now, we basically leave it all for them to fight, and it's going to be so much worse for them to fight. And as long as we are firmly entwined in these systems of financial control, and we can't see how we're being controlled and manipulated, as long as we stay in that place, it's almost impossible to break down the level of control that's happening. And I wish, it's like, I wish I could show through my eyes. Like, I wish you could see through my eyes and see how clearly, and I'm going to be sharing a really, really powerful story on the Ouroboros experience tonight. So if you haven't already registered for the Ouroboros experience, you're definitely going to want to do that. Again, it's the last free Ouroboros event of the year. There's the link, so just register for that, and then you'll get the access to the Zoom link. You'll want to be on live. If you possibly can, because we'll be doing some activations, we'll be doing maybe some clearing. I'm not quite sure about that yet. I'm going to be sharing a really powerful story of personal transformation that occurred for me over the last month on that event. Last time I gave away a free course to everyone that was live, so that's why you want to join live, because I know that something else will come through that I need to gift to the people. But I really believe that like right now is the time. Like this round of Ouroboros is building warriors. And I kept getting that. Like I kept getting this, like this round of Ouroboros is building warriors, it's building warriors. And I was like, wow, like what does that mean? And now I'm like, oh, I get it. Like the kids, the children, right? And yes, are we the warriors as well? Absolutely, 1,000,000%. But think how much more powerful this work is when we call in this next generation of kids to step into their worthiness and their deserving. So I'm super excited about this. I am really, really, really excited about the event tonight. I hope all of you will join. Ouroboros officially starts tomorrow. The cart does not close until the 9th of September. I was going to close it on the 7th, but then I looked at my calendar today and saw that it doesn't close, that I had a note that it didn't close till the 9th. So the 9th will be the official closing of the Ouroboros cart. So there's still time to sign up, still time to join us. There's incredible payment plan options available. We also, because of the state of the world and what's happening in the world, released an extended payment plan that's an 18-month payment plan. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I'm like, nope, it needs to be accessible. And so we're taking 10 of those, and we've already filled 2 of them. So there's 8 spots left in that extended payment plan option. It is by application only, so you do have to fill out an application. So if you're watching this and you're like, I need the extended payment plan option for Ouroboros, and you're a first round Ouroboros person, send me a private message and we'll get you the link to the application. Yeah, I've been so drawn to wanting to start somehow with the children. So excited. I know, me too. I'm so excited. And I'm like a little bit blown away because I'm like trying to comprehend how much more work this is going to be over the next 4 months, but I know it's like so worth it. And again, it's like, this is what happens when you live divinely guided. I just show up and do the things. Like I'm directed, I show up and do the things. And as I went into my meditation this morning, I just asked for my ancestors to come and show me what the message was today and what is most needed and most important on this planet at this time. And this is what I was shown. And I literally came on and got on the live and announced it before I could be like trying to figure out the logistics of it. And it's really why I didn't announce it to the team. I like was just like, I gotta go live, I gotta announce it, I gotta say the things so that people just know, like, I've made the commitment now, right? I've shown up and made the commitment. But I'm really excited. And I truly believe that 2022 is going to be much worse than anything that we've seen so far in 2020 and 2021. And so, you know, the people that are stepping into this work right now and are going to spend the second half of this year deconstructing their programming and conditioning and stepping into greater states of worthiness and deserving, and really being able to tap into energetically what it feels like to be sovereign. 2020 is going to look a whole lot different for those people than it does for the people that don't join us. A whole lot different. So yeah, you know, and it's the other thing I guess that I'll say about this program and about stepping into this work is I can sit and tell you, which I will do tonight on the call. I'm going to talk more about what the actual program is and what we do in the program. And I can sit and explain that stuff to you all day long. But the truth is that it's not about the actions that happen inside the program and inside the container. It's about the energetic transmission. Like, it's about the energetic transmission. That's why you join Ouroboros. You join Ouroboros to shift the collective energy and your energy. and to receive that transmission. So that's it. That's all I have. So join me tonight on the Ouroboros experience. My lymphatic drainage massage therapist is here, so I'm going to go do that, meditate a little bit more on, hi, one second, meditate a little bit more on how we're going to facilitate this life-changing teen track. And yeah, so those of you that have kids that you think are going to be interested, extend an invitation to them and private message me so I know how many it looks like we're going to have. I love you all. I will be live on Zoom at 7 p.m. Bali time, which is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard, 4 a.m. Pacific, and 9 p.m. AEST. So I will see you all tonight. Those of you that are already in the program, those of you that are affiliates of the program, now you've got something else to go talk to people about. That's it. I love you guys. Mwah.